They defied the oldest rule in the galaxy. Never provoke the humans. Part 2. The Awakening. On Earth, deep under the Rocky Mountains, the Fleet Command Center was bright with screams and busy voices. Admiral Benjamin Cole stood in the main room. He was tall, with gray hair cut short, and a face that showed many years of hard choices. Right now his eyes were fixed on the big wall display. The red alert message from New Haven blinked in the center. He read it again. Kraylor Fleet. Attack on Endeavor. Casualties. Colony under threat. Benjamin turned to his team. Commander Sofia Ramirez stood nearby. She was 35 with dark hair and a tight bun, and quick, smart eyes. Next to her was Lieutenant Lucas Bennett, 28, thin and fast with numbers. They waited for his orders. "Show me the enemy's strength," Benjamin said. A technician pulled up the data. The hologram grew. 300 Kraylor ships, 10 dreadnoughts the size of small cities, hundreds of fighters, heavy armor, strong shields, weapons that could crack moons. Sophia crossed her arms. "They outnumber our response force by 10 to 1 if we send what's closest, and the closest ships are still 3 days away at best speed." Benjamin did not look worried. "Then we do not send what's closest. We send everything." He walked to the strategy table. "Activate Protocol Defiant. Full mobilization. Pull every ship from reserve. Wake the shipyards in Mars orbit and Jupiter's rings. Tell the colonies to arm their defense fleets. No half measures." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Sir, Protocol Defiant has not been used since the Orion conflict. That means we strip the home system bare." Benjamin looked at him straight. "Good. Because if we lose New Haven, the Kraylor will not stop there. They will come for more, and we will not let that happen." Sophia nodded. "Logistics first. We need supply lines open. Fuel, ammo, medical kits. I will coordinate the jumps, so waves arrive every few hours. Hit them hard, then hit them again before they recover." Benjamin pointed at the map. "Target their command ships. Break their chain. Humans fight best when the enemy cannot think straight." Orders went out fast. Across Earth, alarms sounded in military bases. Pilots ran to their fighters. Engineers powered up massive carriers that had sat quiet for years. In hidden shipyards, welders finished the last plates on new warships. Ugly, boxy ships built for one thing: survival. In space near Mars, the heavy cruiser Liberty came alive. Captain Ava Morales stood on her bridge. She was 34, short but strong, with brown eyes that missed nothing. Her crew cheered when the engines roared. They knew the call. New Haven needed them. Back on New Haven, the sky burned. Kraylor dropships landed in waves. Big metal boots hit the dirt. Soldiers in black armor stepped out. They carried plasma rifles and grenades. Their leader, General Torv, stood on a hill and looked at the human city below. He laughed. "Primitives, they will break in one day." But the humans did not break. Mayor Mia Thompson moved through the streets. She wore a simple jacket and carried a rifle. Her people followed her. Farmers, teachers, shop owners, all now fighters. They knew their land. They knew how to hide. Mia spoke into her radio. "Group 1, take the ridge north of the spaceport. Use the old mining tunnels. Hit their flanks when they advance. Group 2, set traps on the main road. Explosives, wire, anything that stops vehicles." A young man named Caleb ran up. "Mayor, the Endeavor just crash-landed near the East Fields. Captain Hayes and survivors are moving to join us." Mia gave a small smile. "Good. Tell them we saved them a spot on the line." High above, the Kraylor started their bombardment. Beams hit the defense towers. Explosions shook the ground. Buildings fell. People screamed. But the humans did not run to the shelters and stay there. They came out fighting. In the fields, militia teams used shoulder-fired missiles. They waited until Kraylor tanks rolled close. Then they fired. One tank exploded, another lost its tracks. The invaders stopped, surprised. General Torv watched from his command post. "They fight like rats," he said. "Send the shock troops. Clear the city block by block." His soldiers advanced. They were big, strong, covered in armor. But every street corner had a surprise. A hidden sniper, a grenade thrown from a window, a car pushed into the road to block them. The Kraylor moved slow. Too slow. Back in space, the Endeavor lay broken on the ground. Smoke rose from its hull. Captain Ethan Hayes climbed out of the escape hatch. His uniform was torn. Blood ran from a cut on his forehead. Behind him came Olivia Grant and 20 surviving crew. They carried weapons and medkits. Ethan looked at the burning sky. "We hold here until reinforcements come." Olivia pointed to the city. "Militia is already fighting. We join them." They ran toward the lines. Along the way they met small groups of civilians. One old man handed Ethan a rifle. "Take it, Captain. We got plenty more." Ethan took it. "Thank you." In the Fleet Command Center, Benjamin watched the live feeds. Small human dots on the ground held against big red Kraylor waves. Ships jumped in one by one. First a squadron of destroyers, then a carrier group. Sophia smiled for the first time. First wave just arrived. They are engaging the Kraylor picket ships. Our fighters are launching. Lucas added numbers on his screen. Enemy lost 12 fighters already. We lost 2. They are not used to our swarm tactics. Benjamin nodded. "Keep the pressure on. Tell the pilots, draw fire, stay alive, make them chase. The big ships will close in soon." On New Haven the ground war grew harder. Kraylor troops pushed into the outer districts. They burned houses. They killed anyone who fought back. But for every human they killed, 2 more appeared from hiding. Mia led a counterattack herself. She took 20 fighters down a side street. They waited behind a collapsed wall. When a Kraylor squad passed, Mia gave the signal. Guns fired. 10 Kraylor fell. The rest ran. Mia reloaded. "Push forward. Take back the square." In orbit, the first human reinforcements hit hard. Small, fast corvettes darted between Kraylor dreadnoughts. They fired missiles, then jumped away before the big guns could aim. The Kraylor shields flared. Small cracks appeared. General Torv shouted at his officers, "Destroy those insects. Focus fire." But the insects kept coming. More human ships arrived. A battleship jumped in close. Too close. Slugs punched through Kraylor armor like paper. One dreadnought listed to the side, leaking air and fire. The Concord observers watched from far away. Their sensors showed the change. The small fight was growing. The Kraylor thought they would win easy. Now they looked unsure. Krell, back in the Crystal Hall, spoke to the assembly. "It begins. The humans wake up." An alien ambassador asked, "Will they stop?" Krell shook his old head. "No, not until the Kraylor leave, or die." On Earth, Benjamin stood with his arms crossed. The screens showed more ships jumping in. Carriers, cruisers, gunships. He spoke quiet, but everyone heard. They broke the rule. Now they learn why we made it. Far out in the black, the Liberty led the next wave. Captain Ava Morales looked at her crew. Full speed, weapons free, for New Haven. The engines burned bright. The ship jumped toward the fight. The galaxy watched. The oldest rule had been ignored. And now, the humans answered, with everything they had. They defied the oldest rule in the galaxy. Never provoke the humans. Part 3. The Tide Turns. The sky over New Haven stayed dark with smoke and flashes. Kraylor dropships kept landing. Their soldiers pushed deeper into the city. General Torv stood in his mobile command post. He watched screens that showed his troops moving forward. "We break them tonight," he said. "No more games. But the humans did not break. Captain Ethan Hayes led his small group through the ruined streets. He had 20 crew left from the Endeavor. They carried rifles, grenades, and one heavy machine gun. Olivia Grant walked beside him. Her face was dirty, but her eyes stayed sharp. They reached the main defense line near the spaceport. Mayor Mia Thompson waited there with 50 militia fighters. She handed Ethan a map drawn by hand. "We hold this square," she said. "They want the port for their heavy landing. If we lose it, they flood the city. We need to hit their supply trucks. Cut their food and ammo." Mia nodded. "We already started, but they guard them heavy now." Olivia pointed to a side road. "We go quiet. Small teams. Sneak in, plant charges, get out." Ethan agreed. "Do it. I will draw their fire from the front." The plan started fast. On the front line, militia fighters opened up with rifles and rockets. Krayler soldiers charged. Plasma bolts flew both ways. Humans fell. Krayler fell. The ground turned red. Ethan stood behind a broken wall. He fired steady shots. One Krayler dropped. Another. "Keep them busy," he shouted. While the front fought hard, Olivia took 10 people through the shadows. They crawled under fences, moved behind burning buildings. They reached the Krayler supply area. Big trucks sat in rows. Guards walked around them. Olivia gave hand signals. 2 fighters moved low. They placed small bombs on the fuel tanks. Another team cut the tires on ammo carriers. Then they pulled back. The bombs went off together. Fire rose high. Trucks exploded. Ammo cooked off in loud bangs. Krayler guards ran in panic. Their own explosions killed more of them than the humans did. General Torv felt the ground shake. He looked at his screen. "They hit the depot." "How?" An officer answered. "Small teams, sir. They move like ghosts." Torv slammed his fist. "Send hunters. Find them. Kill them all." But the damage was done. Krayler troops in the city ran low on power cells and food. They started to slow. High above, the space battle changed too. The first big human ships arrived in force. The heavy cruiser Liberty led them. Captain Ava Morales stood on her bridge. "Target the closest dreadnought," she ordered. "Railguns, full power." The Liberty's guns roared. Long metal slugs flew silent through space. They hit the Krayler ship hard. Armor cracked. Air vented out in white clouds. Krayler fighters swarmed the Liberty, but human fighters met them. Small, fast ships twisted and turned. They used old tricks: barrel rolls, sudden stops, blindside attacks. Krayler pilots could not keep up. Ava watched the screen. "Boarding teams, prepare. We take that ship." The Liberty closed fast. Grapples shot out. They locked on the damaged dreadnought. Marines in heavy armor crossed the lines. They cut through hulls with torches. Inside, they fought room to room. Krayler soldiers were big and strong, but humans fought dirty. They used flashbangs. They shot from cover. They threw knives when guns jammed. One Marine team reached the bridge. They killed the captain. The dreadnought went dark. Humans now controlled it. More human ships jumped in. Destroyers, frigates, even old cargo haulers turned into gun platforms. They hit the Krayler from all sides. Lieutenant Lucas Bennett watched from Earth Command. He spoke into his mic. "Strike Group 3, focus on their relay ships. Cut their homelink." The relay ships exploded one by one. The Krayler fleet lost contact with their empire. No more orders, no more help. They were alone. General Torv received the bad news. "We cannot call for backup?" "No, sir," his comm officer said. "All relays gone." Torv looked at the planet below. His troops were tired. Humans kept coming, from tunnels, from rooftops, from everywhere. On the ground, Mia led another attack. She took a squad to a Krayler landing zone. They waited until the guards changed shift. Then they rushed in. They killed the pilots. They stole 2 dropships. They flew them back to human lines, loaded with Kraylor weapons. Ethan met her there. "Good work," he said. Mia wiped blood from her cheek. "We use their own ships against them now." In space, Captain Ava Morales sent a message to the Kraylor flagship. "This is Captain Morales of the Liberty. You are surrounded. Your ground forces are cut off. Surrender, or we finish this." The Kraylor admiral answered. His voice sounded angry. "We do not surrender to weaklings." Ava smiled cold. "Then die." The Liberty and 3 other cruisers opened fire. Their beams and slugs tore into the flagship. Shields failed. Hull broke. The big ship split in half. Fire spread inside. Other Kraylor ships tried to run. Human ships chased them. Some jumped away. Most did not make it. Back on the surface, Kraylor troops started to pull back. They left bodies behind. They left equipment. They ran to their remaining dropships. General Torv ordered retreat. Fall back to the outer zones. We hold until reinforcements come. But no reinforcements would come. The humans had broken their lines in space. Ethan walked the streets with Olivia. They saw colonists helping the wounded. They saw children carrying water to fighters. One old woman pressed a hot meal into Ethan's hands. "Eat, Captain," she said. "You need strength." Ethan took it. "Thank you." He looked up. The flashes in the sky grew less. Human ships now controlled orbit. In the Galactic Concord Hall, the elders watched in silence. Screens showed Kraylor ships burning, human ships flying strong. Krell spoke. They turned the tide, in days, not years. A young alien asked, "How?" They were outnumbered. Krell looked at the screen. "Because they do not fight like us. We plan, we wait, they act, they change, they never stop." On New Haven, Mia stood on a rooftop. She watched the last Kraylor dropship lift off and run. She lowered her rifle. Olivia joined her. "We held." Mia nodded. "But they will come back. Or others will try." Olivia looked at the stars. "Then we will be ready." Far away on Earth, Admiral Benjamin Cole received the update. Orbit secure. Ground forces in retreat. Enemy command broken. He allowed himself one small smile. "Good, now we push." Sofia Ramirez added, "Next wave arrives in 6 hours. We can finish this." Benjamin looked at the map. "We will. No mercy for those who break the rule." The galaxy saw it happen. The small fight became a storm. The humans did not just defend. They turned defense into attack. They took ships, they took ground, they took hope from their enemy. The oldest rule had been ignored. Now everyone watched to see how far the humans would go. And the Kraylor learned fast. When you provoke humans, the tide does not just turn. It drowns you. They defied the oldest rule in the galaxy. Never provoke the humans. Part 4, Reckoning. The battle above New Haven reached its peak. Space filled with fire and metal. Human ships moved in tight groups. Kraylor ships tried to form a wall. Admiral Benjamin Cole arrived with the main fleet. His flagship, the battleship Vanguard, jumped in last. It was huge, covered in guns, built to take hits and keep going. Benjamin stood on the bridge. His voice stayed calm. "All ships, report status." Commander Sofia Ramirez answered first. "We have 42 capital ships in position. Carriers launching fighters. Railguns charged. Enemy dreadnoughts down to 18. Their formation is breaking." Lieutenant Lucas Bennett added numbers fast. "They lost 60% of their fighters. Our losses are light. We control the high orbits." Benjamin looked at the main screen. The Kraylor flagship sat in the center. It was the biggest ship left. Black, spiked, still strong. "Target that one," he said. "Hit it hard. Make them feel it." The order went out. Captain Ava Morales on the Liberty moved her ship forward. "Full burn," she told her crew. "We lead the charge." The Liberty rushed straight at the flagship. Its shields glowed bright as Kraylor beams hit it. The ship shook. Lights flickered, but it kept coming. Railguns fired again and again. Slugs punched holes in the enemy armor. Air and fire leaked out. Behind the Liberty came other cruisers. They fired torpedoes that twisted like snakes. The torpedoes found weak spots and exploded inside. The Kraylor flagship listed to one side. Its guns went quiet on that flank. General Torv, now on the flagship bridge, shouted at his officers, "Fire everything! Stop them!" But the humans did not stop. Boarding teams launched from human ships. Small pods shot across the gap. They stuck to the Kraylor hull like bugs. Marines cut in with plasma torches. They poured inside. The fights were close and ugly. Kraylor soldiers used claws and heavy rifles. Humans used speed and teamwork. They threw smoke grenades. They shot from corners. They moved fast. One team reached the engine room. They planted charges. The engines died. The flagship slowed to a crawl. Another team fought to the bridge. They blasted the door. Inside, Kraylor officers stood ready. The fight was short but bloody. Humans won. They took control. The flagship belonged to them now. Other Kraylor ships saw it happen. Some tried to run. Human destroyers chased them down. One by one, they died. Explosions lit the dark like new stars. On the ground, the last Kraylor forces pulled back. General Torv gave the order from his new command post in the hills. All units retreat to extraction points. We hold the landing zones until ships pick us up. But the landing zones burned. Mia Thompson led one group. She moved through trees with 30 fighters. They reached a Kraylor pad. Dropships sat ready. Guards stood around them. Mia gave the signal. Rockets flew. 2 dropships exploded. The rest took off fast, but human shoulder missiles chased them. 3 more fell in flames. Ethan Hayes joined the fight there. He carried a heavy rifle. He shot a Kraylor officer who tried to rally his men. The officer fell. The rest broke and ran. Olivia Grant moved beside him. "They are falling apart," she said. Ethan nodded. "Keep pushing. No rest." In space, the Kraylor admiral on the captured flagship sent a message. His voice sounded tired. "This is Admiral Kor. We request terms." Benjamin received it on the Vanguard. He looked at Sophia and Lucas. They waited. Benjamin opened the channel. "This is Admiral Benjamin Cole. Terms are simple. Withdraw all forces from human space. Pay for every life lost and every building destroyed. Make a public statement. You broke the oldest rule. You will never do it again." Silence came back. Then Kor spoke. "We accept. We have no choice." Benjamin closed the channel. "Tell our ships. Cease fire when they start leaving. But watch them close. One wrong move. We finish them." The Kraylor ships turned. They jumped out slow. One by one, they vanished. The ones too damaged stayed behind. Human teams boarded them. They took prisoners. They saved what they could. On New Haven, the fighting stopped. Smoke rose from the city. People walked out of shelters. They looked around. Houses stood broken. Streets had holes. Bodies lay still. But the enemy was gone. Mia Thompson stood in the main square. She lowered her rifle. Tears ran down her face, but she smiled. "We did it," she said to the people around her. Colonists cheered. They hugged. They cried. Children ran out to see the sky clear. Ethan and Olivia walked to the crashed Endeavor. It lay quiet now. They found Jacob's name on a wall where crew wrote messages. Ethan touched it. "You helped win this," he said quiet. Back on Earth, Benjamin watched the final reports. Enemy in full retreat. New Haven secure. Casualties heavy, but we held. Sophia put a hand on his shoulder. "You called it right, sir." Benjamin shook his head. "No, the people on the ground called it right. We just gave them the tools." Lucas smiled. "The galaxy is watching now." Benjamin looked out the window at the stars. Good. Let them watch. In the Galactic Concord Hall, the crystal walls glowed soft. Elders sat in shock. Screens showed Kraylor ships fleeing. Human ships strong and proud. Krell stood up slow. It is over. The Kraylor ran. A young alien asked, "Will the humans demand more?" Krell looked at the empty seats where Kraylor reps once sat. They demanded what was fair. No more, no less. That is what makes them dangerous. They fight to win, but they stop when it is done. Another elder spoke. The rule stands, but now it has teeth. Krell nodded, teeth made of steel and fire. On New Haven, the sun rose. Light came through smoke. People started to clean. They moved broken stone. They helped the hurt. They buried the dead. Mia walked to a small hill. She planted a flag there. It was the Earth flag, blue and green. Below it she put a sign, "For the fallen, never again." Ethan stood with her. "We lost good people." Mia looked at him. "Yes, but we kept our home." In orbit, Ava Morales sent a message to the fleet. "All ships, stand down combat. Begin rescue and repair. We stay until the colony is safe." Her crew cheered. They knew they won. The reckoning was complete. The Kraylor paid the price. The humans showed the galaxy what happened when the rule broke. They did not just defend. They struck back. Hard, fast, without doubt. Provoke humans at your own risk. Because when they answer with everything. And nothing stops them until the fight ends. The oldest rule had new meaning. Never provoke the humans. Because they will make you remember why. They defied the oldest rule in the galaxy. Never provoke the humans. Part 5. The New Understanding. The smoke above New Haven finally cleared. The sun shone bright on broken buildings and quiet streets. People walked slow. Some carried tools to fix homes. Some carried flowers to graves. The war ended, but the scars stayed. Mayor Mia Thompson stood in the main square. Workers rebuilt the city hall around her. She looked at the new sign on the wall. It read, "We remember. We stand." Below it were names, hundreds of them. Jacob Reed's name sat near the top. Mia touched the stone. "You all fought for this," she said quiet. "We will not forget." Captain Ethan Hayes walked up with Lieutenant Olivia Grant. Both wore clean uniforms now. Cuts and bruises still showed on their faces. Ethan carried a small box. "We brought something," he said. He opened the box. Inside was a piece of the Endeavor's hull. It was black from fire, but strong. Ethan placed it at the base of the sign. "For the ship," he said, "and for the crew who did not come home." Olivia put her hand on his shoulder. They would be proud. People gathered. Colonists, soldiers, children. They stood silent for a moment. Then someone started to sing. An old Earth song about home and strength. More voices joined. The song rose over the square. Far above, in orbit, the human fleet stayed watchful. Captain Ava Morales stood on the Liberty's bridge. Her ship led the repair teams. Shuttles moved between damaged vessels. They fixed what they could. They salvaged what they could not. A message came in from Earth. Admiral Benjamin Cole appeared on screen. His face looked tired but steady. "Captain Morales," he said. "Status report." "Orbit secure, Admiral. All Kraylor ships gone. We lost 12 ships total. Heavy damage on 5. Crew losses. We are still counting. But the message is clear. Send my thanks to your crew. They fought like lions." Ava gave a small smile. "They fought for home, sir." Benjamin looked past the camera. "Tell them the galaxy is listening now. The Concord wants to talk." On Earth, in the Fleet Command Center, Benjamin sat with Sophia Ramirez and Lucas Bennett. The room felt quiet after days of noise. Sophia pulled up a feed. The Concord Assembly is meeting in 1 hour. They invited us, all of us, Ethan, Olivia, Ava, even Mia. Lucas laughed short. They never invited humans before, not like this. Benjamin stood. Then we go. No tricks, no games. We say what needs to be said. The Galactic Concord Hall looked the same. Dark crystal, floating lights, old species in their seats. But the air felt different, heavy. The Kraylor seats stayed empty. Krell, the Vorath elder, stood at the center. His voice came out slow. The humans come. Ethan, Olivia, Ava, Benjamin, Sophia, Lucas, and Mia. They stood tall, no fear in their eyes. Krell spoke first. You won. The Kraylor fled. They paid what you asked. The rule was broken. Now what? Benjamin stepped forward in his hologram. We want peace, trade, open borders. But we will not beg for it. Humans build, we explore, we help when asked. But if anyone attacks our people, our worlds, our homes, we answer. Hard, fast, no mercy. The hall stayed quiet. No one argued. Krell looked at each human face. Many species fear you now. They say you are too strong, too quick to fight. Ethan answered. We do not fight first. We never did. The Kraylor came to us. They laughed at the rule. They killed our people. We gave them a choice. They chose wrong. Mia spoke next. Her voice stayed firm. On New Haven we lost friends, families, homes. But we stand here because we did not run. We fought, and we won. Do not test us again. A young alien ambassador stood. What if others make the same mistake? Olivia answered. Then the same thing happens. We defend, we adapt, we win. Krell raised a thin hand. The rule stays. Never provoke the humans. But now it means more. It means respect. It means caution. The assembly voted. They opened trade lanes to human space. They offered tech exchanges. They promised no more attacks. The vote passed fast. The holograms faded. The humans returned to their ships and homes. Weeks passed. New Haven rebuilt. Streets filled with workers. New houses rose. Farms started again. Children played in parks where battles once happened. Mia walked through a new market. People sold food, tools, even small Kraylor weapons turned into art. She smiled at a young girl who sold flowers. For the memorial, the girl said. Mia took one. Thank you. In space, Ethan and Olivia took the new frigate Hope out on patrol. It was bigger than the Endeavor, stronger, but it carried the same spirit. Ethan stood on the bridge. All systems green? Olivia checked her screen. Green, course set for the outer markers. Ethan looked at the stars. Feels strange. Quiet. Olivia nodded. Quiet is good, for now. On Earth, Benjamin retired from active command. He moved to a small house by the sea. Sophia took his place as fleet commander. Lucas stayed as her right hand. They planned for peace, but they trained for war. One night, Benjamin sat outside. He looked up at the sky. Stars shone bright. He thought of the rule, of the Kraylor, of the fight. He spoke to the dark. We did not want this, but we finished it. Across the galaxy, stories spread. In alien bars, in council rooms, on distant worlds, they told of the humans who refused to lose, who turned one small frigate's death into a fleet's victory, who made an empire run. Parents told children, remember the rule. Never provoke the humans. Scholars wrote books. Soldiers studied battles. Traders learned human ways. The galaxy changed, not because humans became the strongest, not because they had the biggest guns at first, but because when pushed, they pushed back harder. They used brains, they used heart, they used everything, and they never forgot. Years later, a new alien ship visited New Haven. The captain stepped out. He looked at the rebuilt city, at the memorial, at the flag that flew high. He met Mia. She was older now, but still strong. "Why do you keep the sign?" he asked. Mia looked at it. "To remember, to teach, so no one forgets what happens when you break the rule." The captain nodded slow. "We will not forget." He left. His ship jumped away. Mia watched it go. She turned to the memorial. She whispered, "Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, all of you." The stars stayed quiet. The rule held. Stronger than before. Humans lived. They grew. They explored. They offered hands in peace. But everyone knew, if you ever thought to test them, do not. Because they defied the oldest rule, and the galaxy learned why it existed. They defied the oldest rule in the galaxy. Never provoke the humans. Part 1. The Warning Ignored. The Galactic Concord met in a huge round hall made of dark crystal. Thousands of lights floated above like small stars. Representatives from old species sat in their seats. Some had scales, some had feathers. Some looked like walking plants. All of them were quiet when the Vorath elder named Krell stood up to speak. Krell was very old. His skin was gray and thin like old paper. His voice came out low and slow. "Listen to me," he said. "There is one rule that has kept peace in this galaxy for a long time. Never provoke the humans. Never." A few of the younger aliens moved in their seats. They thought the old stories were just tales to scare children. But most of the elders nodded. They knew the truth. Krell touched a small device on his table. A big hologram appeared in the middle of the hall. One showed a green world turned black and dead after humans fought back. Another showed a strong alien fleet broken into pieces by small, fast human ships. The last picture showed a human face, calm, but with hard eyes. Under it were words in many languages. They do not stop. "Humans are new," Krell continued. "They left their one small planet only 200 years ago. But in that short time, they have spread fast. They build ships that are not pretty, but very strong. They fight in ways no one expects. And when they get angry, they do not forgive." The hall stayed quiet. No one spoke against him. The rule was known. Everyone followed it. Everyone except one species that did not care about old warnings. Far away, on the edge of human space, the colony world called New Haven turned slowly under its yellow sun. New Haven had green fields, small cities, and one big spaceport. People lived normal lives there. They farmed, worked in factories, and raised children. It looked peaceful. Captain Ethan Hayes stood on the bridge of his ship, the frigate Endeavor. He was 38 years old, tall, with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. He liked routine, patrols, scans, reports. Today felt like any other day. His executive officer, Lieutenant Olivia Brandt, sat next to him. She was younger, 29, with black hair tied back and sharp green eyes. She watched the main screen. "All clear so far, Captain," she said. "No unusual signals." Ethan nodded. "Good. Keep watching the outer markers. We have trade ships coming in tomorrow." Then the alarm started. Red lights flashed. A loud sound filled the bridge. Olivia's fingers moved fast over her controls. Multiple contacts. Large formation. Coming in fast from Jump Point 7. They are not answering hails. Ethan stood up straight. "Put them on screen." The main viewer changed. A fleet appeared. Big, ugly ships with sharp edges and red lights. The design was Kraylor. Everyone knew the Kraylor Empire. They took worlds. They did not ask. They just took. The biggest ship sent a message. The voice was deep and rough, like stones breaking. "This is Warlord Vex of the Kraylor Empire. This world now belongs to us. Surrender your colony. Open your defenses. or we will burn it from the sky." Ethan looked at Olivia. She looked back at him. They both knew the stories. They both knew the rule. Ethan opened the channel. His voice was steady. "This is Captain Ethan Hayes of the United Earth ship Endeavor. New Haven is a human colony. You are in human space. Turn around and leave. The galaxy has one rule about humans. You should know it." Laughter came back. Loud, mean laughter from many Kraylor voices. "Humans, we know your kind. Weak, young. You hide behind words. We have 300 ships. You have one small frigate. Surrender now, or die." Ethan closed the channel. He turned to his crew. "Battle stations. Shields up. Weapons hot. Send a priority message to Earth. Kraylor Invasion Force at New Haven. We need help." Olivia sent the message. Then she looked at Ethan. "They are charging weapons, sir." Ethan took a deep breath. "Evasive pattern Delta. Get us closer to the planet. We can use the defense grid for cover." The Endeavor moved fast. It was not the biggest ship, but it was quick. It twisted and turned as Kraylor beams lit up space around it. One beam hit the rear shield. The ship shook hard. Lights flickered. "Shields at 60%, a crew member called out. Another beam hit. This time it was direct. The rear engines exploded in fire. The ship slowed. Alarms screamed louder. "Main propulsion offline," Olivia said. Her voice was tight. "We are drifting toward the planet." Ethan looked at the screen. The Kraylor ships were coming closer. Their fighters were launching, hundreds of them. Then a small explosion happened inside the Endeavor. Not from outside, from inside. Engineering section. A young engineer named Jacob Reed had been trying to fix the power relays when the hit came. The blast threw him against a wall. He did not get up. Olivia saw the report on her screen. Her face went white. "Jacob is gone, sir. 3 others in engineering, too." Ethan closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he opened them. "Get damage control down there. Keep the ship alive as long as we can." The Kraylor kept firing. They did not stop. They wanted to break the human ship fast, so they could land troops on the planet. On New Haven, people looked up at the sky. Bright flashes lit the clouds. Everyone knew what it meant. Invasion. Mayor Mia Thompson stood outside the city hall. She was 42, with short brown hair and strong arms from years of farm work. "All militia units, report to defense posts. Civilians, go to shelters. This is not a drill." She looked at her deputy. "How long until reinforcements?" The deputy shook his head. "The message just went out. It will take days, maybe weeks." Mia looked up at the flashes again. "Then we hold. We hold until they get here." Back in space, the Endeavor was hurt bad. It could not fight much longer. Ethan gave the order. "All hands, prepare for emergency landing on the planet. We will fight on the ground if we have to." As the ship fell toward New Haven, the Kraylor fleet moved into position above the world. Dropships started to launch. Thousands of Kraylor soldiers in heavy armor were coming down. In the Galactic Concord Hall, the elders watched through long-range sensors. They saw the small human frigate burning. They saw the huge Kraylor fleet. They saw the dropships falling like rain. Krell spoke again, very quiet. They ignored the rule. One of the younger aliens laughed a little. "The humans will run. They always run when the odds are bad." Krell turned his old eyes to the young one. "No," he said. "They do not run. They get angry. And when humans get angry, the galaxy shakes." On Earth, far away, the priority message arrived at Fleet Command. Admiral Benjamin Cole read it. He was 61, with gray hair and a face full of lines from many battles. He read the words once, then again. He stood up. "Get me the War Council, now." His voice was calm, but everyone in the room knew what came next. The oldest rule in the galaxy had just been broken, and the humans were going to answer.